Like, you know, someone's having a medical emergency in the bathrooms, the ambulance has been contacted, stay here and redirect customers. Okay, I can do that. Those are only real crashes I've witnessed. It's scary. It's very scary. Also, if you drive a car, please be bike aware. Also, because, listen, I come from a family of people that ride motorbikes, and none of the crashes were their fault. None of them were drunk. They were just driving to work, and people will pull out in front of them, and people will not check, and like, or they'll overtake into them, and it's like, bikes exist on the road. Please don't hit people on bikes. Because I feel like a lot of the time when bikers do get into accidents, it's literally not their fault. They have right of way and people just don't see them, or people back into them, and it's... Gastroparesis? Maybe? I don't think I even know what the word is, to be honest. I think if there's anyone with diabetes is happy to tell me, you're welcome to. But I think it's... They just couldn't stop shitting and throwing up. And like, again, it was getting to the point of like, this is concerning, especially because they had diabetes. So yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I know it was triggered by alcohol, drinking alcohol, and yeah. And they needed medical assistance. So I really appreciate privacy and support. This is the thing, most of the time when someone does have a medical emergency, like they come back and they're like, thanks for shielding me. Thanks for making sure I was okay. Thanks for making sure my friend was okay. Like, it's the only way that we often know that people are okay, because again, once they go into the ambulance, that's the last you see of them. You just hope they're okay. But, yeah, it's, a lot of the time people do come back, and again, it puts the mind at rest of the people that have helped you. So like, if you do have a medical emergency and then you end up being okay and someone's helped you, going and telling them thank you for the help, it means a lot, because not only it's nice, you know, for people to acknowledge their help, but it's like, it's mainly just knowing that once you left us that you were okay, because it does weigh on people's minds. I know the first aiders, the people that did respond to first aid calls, in where we worked, were often like, would spend the rest of the day just like this. Like, I hope I did enough. Did I do enough? Was it okay? Was it enough? And it's like, there's nothing you can really say, like, to help other than like, you couldn't have done more. Like, it's difficult. Ah, dear. Weirdly, I like watching shows like Ambulance and Police Interceptors, but I enjoy more when you witness the kind of strangers, and I think it gives my faith in humanity restored. Yeah, most of the time, I've seen, so I will say, like, I had a slight incident. Well, I was in a pretty bad place. I was really sick before traveling. I hadn't had any sort of diagnosis at this point, but I knew I wasn't well. So I'd already had to go to A&E once that month. And like, my symptoms hadn't gotten better, and I was really, really unwell and very unsteady on my feet. But I was trying to travel home, and it was my birthday. And I was trying to travel home on my birthday to see my family, and I collapsed on the train. Yeah, I collapsed on the train about 5 minutes after catching it. So I basically got on the train and was like, bam! And a junior doctor helped me. And I only really found out afterwards because they helped get me off the train and contact the train staff so that I could have support, because I wasn't in like a really dangerous position where I needed an ambulance, but I also was like not really there. Even when I was waking up, I was barely conscious. So someone stayed with me and made sure that I was okay, because I was a barely conscious woman, not barely woman, a barely woman conscious at the train station. And they stayed with me until my family could come and get me. And yeah, people stayed with me for like 3 hours, just putting it out there, because my family do not live close to me. And it was very heckin' wholesome. Very heckin' wholesome. Oh dear. Where are those biker cyclists here in the Netherlands? Yeah, you have a lot more cyclists, which I guess would help with that sort of thing. So in London for an NFL game, I've watched NFL in London. Went for dinner at Weber Street with a group of 2 girls and a guy. The girl had way too much, passed out. Oh my god. Out of consciousness, she was like there. Oh dear. They called an ambulance to a carted her off. Yeah, this is the thing. It's like, what do? You have to make sure that they're okay. Barely woman. A barely woman consciousness. That's me. That's how I like to describe it. A barely woman.